Good evening, everyone. I'm student meteorologist Michael Anand.
And I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
Yeah, and Tyler, it was a very cool, damp, uncomfortable day out there.
Yes, it's been a big change from what we were seeing last week with sunny and dry conditions. It's been very uncomfortable today.
Yeah, especially the weekend was warm, sunny, felt more late spring-like, actually early summer-like, and then go to today, it felt like a little bit of taste of winter.
Yes, and just feeling this winter weather here during April 1st, just not usually something I would be used to here in Florida.
Oh, yeah, definitely didn't feel like April 1st out there. Temperatures only in like the 50s and cloudy and gloomy. I think the good thing, it doesn't last for much longer. By tomorrow, everything's basically back to normal, pretty much.
Yes, and it's going to be beautiful outside, maybe a little bit colder as we start tomorrow, but it'll be heating up a little bit. It'll get a lot more comfortable, get back to these temperatures we're used to here in the spring.
Yeah, and we do need some of the rain. It's been a little bit of a dry start to the year. We're actually going to talk about that later with the some of the fire concerns out towards the Panhandle over the weekend. And then we'll also go into what's happening along the Atlantic coastline with that low developing.
Yes, this low that's going to start pushing up the East Coast, going to bring a lot of rain in the East Coast region.
Yeah, but for now, we're going to send it out to the wall with Lorenz with our overview for tonight.
Thanks, guys. Currently, you can see that it is raining, and that's due to the cold front that moved in yesterday and is going to currently continue with our rain as we head into our week. If we take a closer look, Tallahassee, it's still raining, as you can tell if you're outside or if you're looking through a window. But the main story is that it's 54 degrees here in Tallahassee, a little warmer, like 59 up in Bainbridge, and just in general, mid to upper 50s all throughout the Big Bend region. Currently, it is 54 degrees and cloudy. We have winds from the east by northeast direction coming in at 6 miles an hour, bringing in that cooler, drier air due to that high pressure system sitting just right above Tallahassee. Tonight, it is going to continue cooling down into 52 degrees. We have rain chances continuing into the late night, 70% chance of rain, and our winds are going to change slightly into an easterly direction. But for the headlines for the show, rain will continue overnight. It'll clear up and dry out a little bit tomorrow in the afternoon, but rain will return into the weekend due to the peak conditions for rain, bringing in wetter and less dry rest of the week. For now, I'm going to pass it over to Michael with the Southeast.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at what's happening here in the Southeast, and you see it's much colder compared to what it was over the last few days. You can see out towards Tallahassee, only an 8-degree drop, honestly, since yesterday, but compared to earlier in the day where we're in the 70s, like Sunday, 77 degrees at one point out in Tallahassee. But the front really moved through overnight of Saturday into early Sunday for a lot of the Southeast, so you don't see the temperature change up there. But for places like Jacksonville and Orlando, it moved through last night. And compared to yesterday, temperatures much lower compared to what they were during the weekend. And you can see it by the temperatures. We had this little cooler pocket out towards South Georgia and North Florida where we've had persistent clouds and rain for the entire day. So temperatures only in the 50s up there. Had more sunshine up to the north, so temperatures were able to warm up pretty quickly up into the low to mid 60s up there. And then below that front, still have the warm and humid conditions. So temperatures in the upper 70s and actually low 80s down towards Key West with 80 degrees in Key West. And by the temperatures, you can see where that front really is, basically right along south central Florida with the more humid conditions in South Florida and the more cool but cloudier conditions. A lot of this rain and clouds are actually behind the front, which is a little bit interesting, the moisture overriding the front. We also have high pressure up towards the southern Appalachians, so that's bringing the cooler air down from the north and some plentiful sunshine and nice conditions for the interior location of the southeast. But what's going to happen as we go into the overnight hours, a low is going to develop along the southeast coast. And you can already see the stages developing with those higher relative humidity values and close to 100% in Tallahassee because of that drizzle and rain right out there. And then 70s out towards Tampa and Orlando, but well behind the front. Notice how the relative humidities are much lower with that dry air filtering in, only in the 20s and low 30s in terms of relative humidity. The upper level water vapor shows you the drier air in the upper levels, but moisture a lot of moisture out down towards central Florida and off the Atlantic coastline. So that shows you how much moisture is ahead of this front, but the dry air filtering in behind the front. And also that tells you by the dew points, much more moisture ahead of it with some dry conditions behind it in terms of your dew points. The futurecast does show you how that low develops off the Georgia, South Carolina coastline. And as we go into tomorrow morning, especially in the upstate part of South Carolina, notice how we get some mixing and some snow up towards Greenville, Spartanburg, and Clemson. So be careful if you're going out for your morning commute tomorrow if you're up towards Clemson and Greenville, Spartanburg. And then notice how that low just filters off out towards the north and it impacts the northeast and New England coastline. So if we look at tomorrow's forecast, you notice cooler, more sunny skies behind the front with some rain and some thunderstorms possible along the coastal regions of the southeast. Now we're going to send it off to Tyler with our first local forecast.
Thank you, Michael. And right now we're going to talk about this cold front that's stalled out, as Michael mentioned. In the southern part of Florida, it's warmer, and in the northern part of Florida, where the cold front already passed through, it's colder. And we have moisture and wet, rainy conditions, surprisingly. And the high pressure system here in the middle of eastern part of the country is bringing sunny and dry conditions to areas such as Atlanta and Raleigh. And as we zoom into the satellite and radar in Tallahassee, we can see the rain starting to move through. Not too heavy right now, but as we go towards the night, it's going to pick up a little bit. Looking at our weather cam right now at Doak Campbell Stadium, you can see the skies are getting darker. It's getting cloudier. The rain is going to start rolling through soon. And current conditions right now, 54. It's cloudy, but the rain's going to pick up soon. I've enjoyed showing you guys the sunny weather at Doak Campbell Stadium. Unfortunately, we don't have much of that right now. Looking here at the current conditions for Tallahassee, it's 54 degrees, and in Quincy, 57, Bainbridge, 59. So all around the Big Bend region, we're in the mid-50s. But in the dew points are kind of the same story, very close to the actual temperatures, which explains why it's so uncomfortable right now, especially in Tallahassee, very close to the actual temperature. So that's why it's so muggy right now and why conditions have been favorable for rain moving through. And as we look through the Tallahassee region on Tuesday in about 5 a.m. in the early morning hours, we're going to have a lot of rain with wind coming from the north. But as we go through the later morning hours, we're going to see that rain dissipate a little bit more, and we're going to have cloudy conditions, but not as much rain. And as we go through the night, clear, beautiful skies in Tallahassee and the Big Bend region. Tonight's forecast, 52 degrees, rain late, about a 70% chance as we go through the late night, early morning hours with wind coming out of the east at 9 miles per hour. Tomorrow, Tallahassee is going to be 71, Quincy 70, Bainbridge also 70. All throughout the Big Bend region, it's going to be cloudy, but nice conditions. Looking at the marine forecast, we're going to have a light shock, about 1 to 2 feet. Winds coming out of the northwest at 10 to 15 knots. And weather, 71 degrees, and it's partly cloudy, so not too bad looking in the ocean right now. Looking at your commute, 53 degrees all throughout the morning, but the rain's going to go away as you drive. And looking through the weekend and look ahead, the rain's going to pick up chances as we go through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right now, I'm going to pass it off to the desk with Jennifer and Lawrence.
Thanks, Tyler. But now we're going to shift our attentions over to the Washington, D.C. area to talk about the cherry blossoms and why they're, blossoming.
Yeah, currently the national parks have noticed that the cherry blossoms have bloomed all across the area, basically meaning that 70% of the cherry trees in the tidal basin around the Washington, D.C. area have in fact bloomed, and they are flowering at this time.
Yeah, it's because of just the change in the temperature. We had a little bit of extra rain on Friday, and a continuation of that throughout the week, as you can see from our forecast prior segments and future segments. It's just going to continue blossoming.
Yes, and depending on the weather, peak blossom times can actually last between a few days and even 7 to 10 days on the higher extent. So this is a very short amount of time that you can actually see the cherry blossoms in full bloom. And yeah, so temperatures heading into this past weekend actually soared near 80 degrees, which was the reason why the flowers actually started to bloom. They saw a dip in temperature heading into, after that cold front moved through, heading into earlier this week, which is the reason why the blossoms kind of bloom. They had a lot of favorable conditions.
Right, and those favorable conditions will continue throughout the week. If you are in the DC area, basically from now through Thursday is going to be an amazing sight to behold. If you go and see any of the cherry blossom trees, they'll be in an amazing bloom, and they'll be basically right through the center. They should look like a little white bulb, and that's going to continue through, and they luckily enough dodged the storm that could have happened on Tuesday.
Yes, so heading into this next the next few days, they'll dodge that system that you're talking about that it'll develop along the coast, along the East Coast. Luckily, they'll kind of miss that that low, but there's some factors that can actually shorten up a cherry blossom bloom include stronger winds, rain, and very warm temperatures. So over the next few days, they're certainly going to dodge that. There's going to be nice, cool, and beautiful temperatures in the DC area. So something that they're looking into for the rest of the week. It should be absolutely beautiful to head out along those areas and watch the cherry blossoms. So have you ever seen the cherry blossoms?
No, I have not. I really want to go to DC one day and see it. Yeah.
My some of my relatives live there, and they go out and watch it, and it's absolutely gorgeous. They get like beautiful pictures and everything. So we're actually going to send things over with me to look at the nation. We're going to look at temperatures all across the area. Ooh, look at that. Cooler temperatures along the northern portions of the United States. 41 degrees in Detroit, as well as 50 degrees in Bismarck, North Dakota. Looking more towards the areas of the all right, looking at dew points across the region, we're looking at very cool dew points in the northern half of the country. Dry conditions across most of these areas. There is a low pressure system that is located in the mid-Atlantic states. Closer towards South Florida, we're starting to see some cooler conditions, some higher dew points in those areas because of that front that's moving on through the region. And with that, we can look at the upper level water vapor. A lot of moisture in most of these areas, especially in areas like Tampa, Miami. That front kind of stalled out a little bit, and so they're seeing a lot of rain in these areas as well. Looking at the radar, high pressure system along with that cold front that stalled out. We're just seeing a lot of rain in the southeast, but that high pressure will remain in effect for the next few days, and Tallahassee could stay dry heading into tomorrow and into Wednesday as well. Along the west coast, this occluded front will start to push on into the west coast, giving a lot of rain for these areas. There is actually a winter weather watch in effect, winter weather advisory in effect until Tuesday at 8 p.m. That's a result of this occluded front. It's going to push on into the region, giving a lot higher rain chances, especially for areas San Francisco heading into Portland, as well as into the northern portions of the west coast. That occluded front will stay off into the Pacific heading into the next few days, but heading into Tuesday, especially in the morning hours, places like Oregon will see the heaviest of rain. Rainfall potentials heading into the next 24 hours, they could see up to an inch of rain for the coastal areas of the Pacific Northwest and even on into Northern California. A lot of rain in these areas. They've seen a lot of rain in the past few weeks. For tonight's forecast, 30 degrees in Billings, North Dakota, 35 degrees in Denver, 53 in San Francisco, some rainier conditions in those areas, 49 degrees up in Seattle, cloudier at times, cool across the northern portions of the United States, 36 degrees in Chicago, as well as 32 degrees in Detroit. Along the southeast, 52 degrees here in Tallahassee, expecting the rain to continue overnight tonight, 67 degrees in Miami and Fort tomorrow, 59 degrees in Kansas City, beautiful day to head outside. Sunny conditions across the Plain States, 62 degrees in Atlanta. Things should start to clear up here in Tallahassee, 71 degrees. Rain will linger around in Miami, 85 degrees. It's going to be very warm. They're going to be the warm spot in the country. 50 degrees in Boston, as well as 53 degrees in Washington, D.C. As that low starts to develop, we'll start to see rain chances increase for the New England states heading into the rest of this week. Now I'm going to pass things off to Michael with a look at around Tallahassee.
Yeah, let's look back at a very cloudy but gloomy picture here in Tallahassee. If we take a look at what's happening outside right now, you'll see that it's not really nice outside. Very, again, cloudy, gloomy, cool, wet, whatever you want to call it. And you'll notice it's around 54 degrees outside with that east-northeast wind of 6 miles per hour. Not a very pleasant first day of April, honestly, out there if you don't really enjoy this type of weather. But the current condition across the rest of the region, you see all of us in the low to mid 50s, upper 50s with 59 in Bainbridge, but all of us under those cloudy, gloomy, a little bit of a drizzly kind of sky out there, so not very nice evening out for a walk or a run if you want to go out. The dew points are very close to the air temperature. That tells you how moist the air is. Again, feeling very humid out there, even though it's only in the low 50s. So this is going to continue as we go into the overnight hours. That low develops off the northeast Florida coast and moves up the east coast. Once we go into tomorrow morning, conditions should gradually improve, as you can see by the satellite and radar. That stalled out front basically in south central Florida, allowing this low to develop just off of the coastline near Jacksonville. That's what's been giving us this persistent rainfall behind the front. Once this low moves up the coast and goes up towards the northeast, conditions should greatly improve for your Tuesday, and then even better conditions expected for Wednesday once this high pressure system really takes control of our region. But for now, under the persistent cloudy, rainy skies. But if you're up toward Dothan, look at it, it's nice and sunny condition. Not really much of a distance between cloudy, gloomy, rainy skies and sunny, much warmer, pleasant skies, honestly. But everyone will get those sunny, pleasant skies as we go into tomorrow afternoon especially. That's what our futurecast shows, with the clouds and the rain continuing into the overnight hours for the Big Bend, South Georgia region. And then as we go into tomorrow late morning, the clouds start to break. You get some more sunshine, so things will warm up into the upper 60s into the low 70s. And then you notice by the time we get into the afternoon, into the overnight hours, clouds should break completely. You'll end up with some clear skies, so very nice conditions going into Tuesday night. Might be a little bit chilly for your Tuesday night, but still much better compared to how today was if you don't really enjoy the gloomy, cloudy conditions. So as we take a look at your Friday morning, your actually Tuesday morning forecast, a little bit of a problem there. Rainy skies with 52 degrees, 49 degrees out there in Quincy under rainy skies. So a little chilly, rainy morning, especially early in the morning before 7 a.m. And for tomorrow afternoon, clouds will break, sun will appear once again, so we'll warm up back to normal levels, low to mid 70s out there. And take a look at your 7-day forecast. Notice how conditions gradually warm up as we go into Thursday, mid to upper 70s, and then thunderstorms approach back to the region as we go towards the weekend as another cold front approaches the Tallahassee area. But temperatures remaining warm in the low 80s and with 60s out towards for your lows. Now we're going to send it back to the desk with Tyler, and we're going to talk about what's been happening in the Panhandle with this wildfire danger.
Yes, there's been wildfires in the Panhandle region that have forced the evacuation of 20 homes in Bay County.
Yeah, and so the reason why there's been wildfire concerns, we had burning of some debris from Michael. A lot of timber went down in the Panhandle due to Hurricane Michael back in October. So that is what's been basically giving the fuel for this fire.
Yeah, and a lot of this burning has been happening near Allenton, Florida at Country Road 2207 and Old Allenton Road.
Yeah, again, it was started by people burning debris. And then remember that cold front you just saw in south central Florida moved through the Florida Panhandle going into Sunday, so that provided the winds needed to start out this fire.
The good news, though, is that it's 65% contained as of Monday afternoon. But because it's been a dry 2019 so far, it's been sparking up the risk of wildfires developing here in the Big Bend region.
Yeah, it's been a little bit dry to start of the 2019, which makes sense as we're getting into the dry season here in Florida before those diurnal thunderstorms really begin. And also, all that fallen timber from the Hurricane Michael debris, that just adds to the fuel for that fire. So once we clear out the debris, everything will be fine, but there's so much debris to work with for these possible fires.
It's really unfortunate, too, because Hurricane Michael devastated big parts of the Big Bend region, and now just piling on top of that, this debris sparking, catching on fire, just causing more problems for the area.
Yeah, so just be aware, if you do have a lot of debris still around your yard, try to limit any open flames because it can really spark. That debris, it can dry out very quickly. So just be aware, just keep any open flames away from that.
Absolutely. But for now, we're going to send things back to Jennifer for a look around Florida at the wall.
Thank you, guys. And yes, the conditions for fires are favorable, especially heading into the dry season, which will be around April into May before the afternoon thunderstorms do start to develop, like Michael was saying. Temperature-wise across Florida, though, it's very chilly across portions of North Florida with those with the rain as well. 55 degrees in Jacksonville, 54 degrees here in Tallahassee. Things starting to clear up for areas of Pensacola, only 62 degrees in that location. But ahead of that front, temperatures are very warm, 80 degrees in West Palm Beach and 80 degrees in Key West. Comparing these two temperatures, it's like two different worlds here in Florida. Dew points are high, especially across areas of Central Florida where that cold front currently is. In the 50s for North Florida, closing in on that actual temperature, so things are going to feel very humid heading outside in the next few hours. Look at the radar, we do see that cold front just situated in the south, in across Florida as well. This is just going to linger in their area as it is stalled out for tonight, so some showers expected for the northern portions of Florida heading into the next few hours. But as we get into tomorrow, this high pressure system will start to move into the region, giving us a lot drier conditions as we head into tomorrow afternoon and into Wednesday as well. So things should start to clear up. In South Florida, looking at some scattered showers across portions of South Florida, especially in Coral Springs and West Palm Beach area. Temperature-wise for tomorrow, it's going to stay warm. We could see some pop-up showers, especially in the afternoon as that cold front tries to make its way on through. 83 degrees in West Palm Beach for tomorrow, 85 degrees in Miami, as well as 79 degrees over in Naples for tomorrow afternoon. That low temperature reaching around 63 degrees for tomorrow morning. For tomorrow's forecast in North Florida, Jacksonville reaching around 67 degrees. Could see some lingering showers, mainly in the midday hours in these areas. Should start to clear up as we get into tomorrow afternoon, especially for areas like Live Oak into tomorrow afternoon. 68 degrees and 72 degrees for Cross City, 73 degrees in Gainesville, and 73 degrees in Ocala for tomorrow afternoon. In the portions of western panhandle, clear across most of the area. Most of the clouds and showers are well off to the east, heading into the Tallahassee area, but things are very clear, especially for places like Pensacola. 72 degrees in those areas in Pensacola, 50 degrees for your morning low. Clear skies heading into tomorrow, 70 degrees for Destin. Perfect time to be on the beach. It's going to be a little bit chillier in the morning hours, but perfectly clear heading into tomorrow afternoon. Forecast, expecting the rain to linger around the area, especially in the morning commute hours for portions of North Florida, even into Tallahassee. Clear along portions of South Florida, but as that front moves on through, things should start to clear up as we get into Wednesday and heading into Tuesday afternoon and into Wednesday. Very clear conditions for Wednesday heading into those hours. Looking at local forecast with Lawrence, things are looking actually fairly cloudy outside, aren't they?
Yes, Jennifer, they really are. If you take a look at our weather stem camera situated right outside of the Pensacola Street Garage, right looking onto Doak Campbell Stadium, it is still pretty cloudy. There's a little bit of overcast and still some rain. But currently it is 54 degrees with a little bit of clouds in the area, 7 miles an hour winds coming from the east by northeast. And our satellite radar still shows that we are sitting just in between a high pressure system and this cold front that is kind of sitting around and deciding to stall out over central southern Florida. You're taking a look closer into the Tallahassee area. There's the rain coming through, and it's going to continue just for the rest of tonight, a little bit in tomorrow morning, but it should clear out for the rest of tomorrow and then come back for the rest of the week. Current conditions, it is 54 in Tallahassee. Just throughout the main area, it's the same thing, 54 in Thomasville, a little bit less, 51 in Valdosta, a little warmer, 55 in Apalachicola. But in general, mid-50s, a little higher up in places like Bainbridge, but for mainly it's just cold. Dew points, it is 53 in Tallahassee, pretty dry throughout the area. It's a little, it's dry in general, but it is close enough to our current temperature, which is causing an increase in chances of rain and a little bit of that moist, muggy feeling throughout. Surface winds coming from that northeast direction, dispersing a little bit, but mainly giving us that cooler air from the north. We have continuation of the rain into tomorrow in the morning. It'll continue all the way through around 8:39. So if you're going to commute, which we'll take a look at in a second, it's going to still be rainy in the morning with winds coming mainly from the north. It should clear out almost entirely by 9 p.m. tomorrow, so it'll be clear all the way through Tuesday and parts of Wednesday. You can see it's nighttime now on Tuesday, and it just is the same amazing clear skies. Tonight it should be 52, so it's going to continue cooling down. Rain is going to continue throughout the night. There's a 70% chance of rain later, and the winds should shift a little bit more to the easterly direction in preparation for tomorrow. That commute forecast, which I mentioned a couple seconds ago, it's going to be 53 degrees if you wake up real early and a little bit warmer with 54 at 9 a.m. if you're going to class or if you're driving throughout the area. But it's still going to be raining in the morning all the way through. A little bit of sun here at 9 a.m. because that's when the showers decide to slow down and end. Tomorrow's forecast, it is 71 in Tallahassee. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sunny. Just enjoy that because it's going to rain for the rest of the week. The marine forecast for tomorrow, that Tuesday right up there, it's going to be 71 degrees, and it should just in general be a relatively good day to go out boating. But taking a look at our amazing 7-day, it's going to rain for tomorrow. It's going to clear up on Wednesday, and the rain should come back on Thursday and kind of push through the rest of the week. But relatively high 70s, warming up to the 80s, but it's just an amazing week. What do you think about that, Jen and Mike?
I think that 7-day is looking pretty dreary as we get into the weekend.
Honestly, it looks a little bit mostly like summer. Honestly, when we go to the weekend, it looks like those afternoon showers and thunderstorms, 80-degree temperatures.
Well, that system, it's another system that's going to push into the region, so it's
Yeah.
actually going to be like kind of cloudy and rainy on and off
yeah,
throughout
just
the
that
weekend.
front lingers around and gives that chance for some storms. in
Yeah,
the
but we're starting to see the rain chances increasing, especially getting into the later half and into summer. We're going to start to see every day it's going to be like 50% chance of rain.
Yeah, but
50%
before
chance
the
of rain.
weekend, just get through tonight and early tomorrow morning. Perfect weather for
Yes.
honestly Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, perfect time to head across campus. When you're walking across, it's not going to be it's not going to be too chilly and it's not going to be too warm. So
Yeah.
you're looking at the 7-day forecast. It's going to look pretty good heading into Wednesday.
Yeah, a little bit chilly in the morning, but the afternoon looking very spring-like,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. Mid-70s, very ideal in my opinion.
Yeah, perfect time to be heading outside and to all the local parks around Tallahassee. So
Yeah.
if we could actually get that 7-day back up, we'll show you exactly when the
There you
rain
go.
chances are going to happen. Heading in Thursday afternoon and into Friday, we're going to start to see the rain chances increase 20% on Thursday. Friday's probably going to be the wettest day across the 7 days, 60% chance of rain.
Yeah, and then the weekend, have those scattered showers and thunderstorms, but not like a washout and by any means.
No.
Also, we had that spring game Saturday afternoon, so might want to bring the rain gear just in case. You can't bring umbrellas
Nope.
to Dale Campbell Stadium, but just bring one of those like rain jackets,
Yep.
like those clear rain jackets.
Ponchos. We
Poncho,
love
there.
ponchos
There we
here.
go, ponchos. That's what I was looking for.
Also, with that rain chances increasing, we're going to see temperatures in the 80s heading into the weekend. Follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you updated on that. And also like us on Facebook at FSU Weather on both of those sites.
And if you're live on YouTube, thank you for watching us. And we are always live every weeknight at 6 on YouTube. Just search FSU Weather.
And also follow us on Instagram. You can send us all your photos and we'll post them there at FSU Weather. Send them in through Twitter, Facebook, and we'll post them.
Yep, so just get through this dreary kind of night and then enjoy the weather expected the next few days. So for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Michael Onen.
I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins. We'll see you tomorrow night.